It's official, we have new secret documents from the CDC from the first season of The Walking Dead, the Center of Disease Control from Dr. Edwin Jenner, new documents that bring more details about the beginning of the outbreak in The Walking Dead, unpublished documents that were never shown, and they were finally revealed from that auction, an auction of the official items of The Walking Dead that is happening right now, revelations about some places in the world where anomalies happened, revelation about what the protocol was like for scientists around the world, revelation about the study of the zombie virus itself, and much more that I'm going to bring in this video and explain everything. It's very important, and if you wanna know, stay here and let's go. Hello everyone watching this beautiful channel, my name is João Victor and I'm back to talk about the Walking Dead universe again, obviously because we have some very important news. When I'm recording this video, we are in 2025, 15 years after the first season of The Walking Dead came out, and we have a new update about the first season that came out in 2010 that many people didn't know. I will explain this, but first, obviously, don't forget to check the like button in this video. It helps me a lot with the promotion, and also, if you like more contents about the Walking Dead universe, don't forget to subscribe in this channel. There we go. Here's the point. Let's go to talk about what we know about the beginning of the Walking Dead zombie outbreak, which was revealed even in the first season of the show. In the episode 5, the penultimate episode of the season, we see Rick and the group arriving at the CDC with the hope of finding out more details about the zombie outbreak, or at least finding a way to cure, or a way to stop it, because here they still didn't have much information, and it's there that they met Dr. Edwin Jenner, still in episode 5, and then in episode 6 is explored more about him. It is in the last episode of this season that he shows and reports to Rick and his group everything that happened, everything they know about the zombie outbreak, or at least part of it. He shows the x-ray of his wife, which was the last object of testing there. It shows about how zombie infection reaches the person's brain, takes it, and just a little part of the brain there, which is responsible for bringing back the motor parts and making it want to bite and attack, it's the part that comes back. In addition, it is also here that Rick discovers that all the people in the world are infected, no matter who is beaten or not, if dying becomes a zombie. But more important than all that, we have a scene in episode 5, precisely in Edwin Jenner's introduction, which is him recording a report video about the beginning of the wildfire, which is the name of this zombie infection from The Walking Dead. He reports there that it has been 194 days since the declaration of wildfire, about 6 months since they discovered the zombie infection, but it has been 63 days since the disease became global, like 2 months since the apocalypse began, and it was about 6 to 5 months since they discovered this virus. For several months, the scientific community kept the information, and only after it spread around the world, it all started. It is important for me to remember this at the beginning of the video so that we can get to the new point that was revealed. For those who still don't know, a new official AMC auction is available with several items, several props used in the main show of The Walking Dead and also in the spin-offs, Fear the Walking Dead World Beyond, The Walking Dead The Ones Who Live, several even original items that they kept for years there. But the big point is about the main show, items even from the first season that had never been auctioned or that had never been shown on the screen, such as, for example, CDC documents from the first season of The Walking Dead, various items such as mugs, badges, but we have real documents that were used as studies by Dr. Edwin Jenner in the show, official materials in the series that report more about the zombie virus. In fact, these documents give to us a lot of new revelations, and I want to start with this one, which is basically the CDC directive from the beginning of wildfire's activity. Basically from the moment that wildfire, this zombie infection, started to be active in the world, that spread around the world, what the directives were, how to proceed, and what was observed in the world. This is very crazy because it is new. We never saw that. Starting here, you can see the CDC logo on top, wildfire, and a code, directive active, and here's some data. This directive was released around 6:38 a.m. time on the east side of the United States, which is the region where Atlanta is. It is interesting that there is no date when this directive was released. Most likely it was in August 27th, the date that the apocalypse began on The Walking Dead in 2010. But then look at a new revealing point that we have down there. In the last 2 lines we see the whole Zone 5 facilities around the world. Like, Zone 5, what is it? Probably some facilities that were at a high level to deal with more dangerous disease. And the CDC in Atlanta was one of those facilities. And going to the last line here, this is the first directive since 1968. For those who don't know, so 1968 was when a mysterious flu broke out in Hong Kong, which is the virus known as influenza A, exactly. At the time, it had been the last time they had released a directive about a global pandemic and something along those lines. But it's important to remember about this point of Zone 5 facilities around the world. This really brings us information related to the point of the connection between the laboratories around the world. Like in this first season of The Walking Dead, we also see Dr. Edwin Jenner mentioning about France. And also in the post-credit scenes of The Walking Dead World Beyond, we saw a video of Dr. Edwin Jenner that he sent to a facility in France. But then going back to the document, we go to the part of the reports that are in this document, and look at this. First, it is said that we have a variant of the influenza A virus in Hong Kong, the H3N3, remembering that influenza A is H3N2. We have a variant happening right now. It is worth remembering that we have mentions in Fear the Walking Dead and in the web episode of The Plane about a flu that began to spread, more or less in the week, in the month that the outbreak began. And there began to be reports about a weird flu in the world. And a vaccine has even begun to spread. Madison herself, in the first episode of Fear the Walking Dead, she meets the principal when she arrives at school and he asks, "Oh, I thought you wouldn't come because of the flu that's happening there. Several children were absent." And she answers, "I took the vaccine." And now we have in this document a variation of the influenza A virus that started in Hong Kong and that spread more, and we now discover that the zombie virus started from this flu. We also have more, but let's talk about the theories. Thinking about it, I have a question. Could this have been used to hide the virus and deceive the population? Because it doesn't seem like the zombie issues really have anything to do with it. Could it be that the zombie infection was actually a coordinated or manipulated attack, and they used this variant of the influenza A virus to be able to make a smokescreen on the people in the world to be more infected? And I have to say, this is a point that is even revealed in this document. We have the revelation about the possibility of a manipulated virus. Going to the second topic about this first document, it is possible to see a similar phenomenon happening in two places in the last 3 days. In the third topic, we have Grodno in Belarus, something happening too, but without mentioning much. In the fourth, it is said about Accra, capital city of Ghana, which also had reports about it. On the penultimate point, we have an issue that these events are not geographically related. What does that mean? That these phenomenons are really happening in places that have nothing to do with each other. They are not countries that border each other. That's what they are saying, like a business that doesn't make sense. These are countries that usually have no contact, they are geographically very distant, and the same type of event happened. This is certainly proof about the spread of the zombie infection, which was certainly airborne. It wasn't like the COVID we know and other flus we know, that people need to have more contacts. Then, as the last topic, we have that the details in these events are confusing, and we move on to the part of the document that says how they are going to proceed. We know, which here brings us apparently the moment when these facilities communicated. They decided that they would always communicate by video. They would always send the videos updating on their research, videos like the one we see the woman watching in the post-credit scene of The Walking Dead World Beyond. Look how this document that just came out is very important and connects with everything we've seen. The first topic says all the activities will be recorded and uploaded, and the other topic says possible hourly records if so requested. And the most important thing is that this is the official document of the CDC, but there's another one. Yeah, this one that I'm going to show here in the sequence is in the same package here, but it's not a CDC directive printed and all pretty. In fact, it is a draft document by Dr. Edwin Jenner from his research that he wrote down the information that he discovered about the zombie infection as he studied the samples that he had. And so, about this one, I will bring the best I can understand and what I was able to research. Some other people who may have some relation with medicine or science and understand better can collaborate with the information, so the comments are open for you to send. But what can we identify? The first point, resistant organism, is that he identifies make a bar here longer than 24 hours, the incubation time. Yeah, we have resistant organisms, which makes sense that it is an aggressive infection. Then we have some information about some solutions that Edwin Jenner used as a test to test the resistance of this virus. It's important to mention the bacteriophage word. It means that it is probably a virus, so if you have a doubt if this zombie infection is a virus, a bacteria, a fungus. This reveals to us indeed that it is a virus. Then we have more about his research, and here comes the question he asks. We have the word manipulated. Yeah, question about it. Edwin Jenner himself did consider the possibility that the zombie infection was something manipulated, which throws us into the other weird question. At first, everyone was thinking that the world was being hit by a new pandemic of a variant of influenza A virus. So much so that there are reports of people taking vaccines like medicine from Fear the Walking Dead, but in the end it wasn't that. It didn't solve anything. It was the zombie infection that didn't have much to do with this flu. And the theory I presented is that it may have been used as something to deceive the population so that everyone would be infected, something manipulated. And here is a writing by Dr. Edwin Jenner on the possibility of it being a manipulated infection. And we have more about some serum that he used as a test. We see some mentions about cell damage, and here's some scientific terms: resistant organism, no suppression of viral arc, I think it's that. Sorry for my English, I'm trying to practice. As I used to say in all my videos, this is not my native language, so thank you for your patience. Keep talking about this document. We have some mentions about reagents, some details about temperature, and down here we have something about a logarithm and other things, some calculation. Whoever can decipher this here, send it to us. But like, this is a very important new information that adds a lot to the Walking Dead universe. We leave here discovering that at the beginning of the zombie outbreak, a vaccine was spread to cure people to prevent the pandemic from spreading, a pandemic of a variant of influenza A virus, but ultimately it didn't solve anything because it was a zombie infection taking people. So there's a greater possibility now that it was actually something manipulated and on purpose. We also discovered about the Zone 5 facilities, so the high-level facilities like the CDC in Atlanta, probably the one we saw in the World Beyond post-credits, and we saw about a protocol of sending videos to each other, which generates a great curiosity to see the other videos in the other facilities. Like AMC can make a spin-off just about that on The Walking Dead. And in addition, several new chemical details related to the tests, which proves to us that this is a virus, generate the possibility of manipulation and other things that people can discover there. But then the craziest thing of all, after 15 years we discovered this. You can imagine other things, other points that we didn't see in the Walking Dead universe that can be revealed later. I have to say, this universe is very big, it's very vast. And I have to remember, Daryl spin-off season 3 is ending right now, so probably there will be some new revelations. The season 4 of Daryl Dixon will be the last one, so probably after that we will have some reunion between the characters. So go right in the comments what you think about these documents, what you think about these points of the universe of The Walking Dead. Don't forget to subscribe in this channel so don't miss anything new. Leave the like button, it helps me a lot with the promotion. Thank you for watching this video, I'll be back soon, and bye!